Welcome back to the Global Hollywood Show. My name is Lara, Helena, and I'm an actor, a performing artist, and a producer. And along with my wonderfully talented co-host, actor, stuntman, and fitness expert Tomm Voss, we would like all you global dreamers out there to join us in an in-depth journey into the lives of foreign Hollywood professionals, actors, producers, directors, editors, composers, and others that all chose to leave their country of origin and come to Hollywood to pursue their dreams. What was their story? How it all got started? Who inspired them? What was their journey along the way? And what did they do, or are they doing, to pursue that profession in Hollywood today? So today, we have a really wonderful guest, yet again, and I'd like to welcome you to the Global Hollywood Show. Hi, Tomm Voss.
Hi.
Welcome back again. Here we are.
Here we are.
It's exciting, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
We're really discovering some wonderful stories.
You know what? It's been extremely inspiring to hear everybody's story of struggle and success and struggle and success.
Yeah.
And never giving up. And it's really been inspiring to hear.
It's
people
a real
share.
dance, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Of never giving up. Really.
Of never giving up.
That's I would say the core message is,
Yeah.
don't give up on your dreams and your passion.
Absolutely.
But I'm extremely excited to introduce our guest today, who is from Switzerland, and he's a film composer. His name is Roman Kovalik, and the very first movie that Roman worked on actually won an Academy Award. So welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Very glad to be here.
It's really great to have you here in the Hollywood Hills.
Yeah.
So how long have you been here in the LA area?
I've been here for 8 years now.
Okay.
Yeah, and as you mentioned, I got here in 2006, and my first job was a assistant position for Mark Killian, and I got the chance to work on his movie rendition with Reese Witherspoon and Jake Gyllenhaal, and it ended up going, to
all the way to the Academy Awards.
Yeah, indeed, and that was a great experience.
Tell us, we're going to go backwards a little bit to kind of launch the story, take people back in time to where it all started, that you became or had that dream that you wanted to be a film composer or you compose music for movies.
I probably must credit that to my first piano teacher, Alessandro De Piscopo. I was Italian, indeed, yes, and he was a jazz guy, and so he was always trying to push me towards jazz and playing jazz tunes, and I liked it, but I also kind of like just taking the chords that he taught me, and started like playing around with him, and always like was playing other stuff. And so when I came into this lesson, one day he goes like, like every time I show you stuff, you know how to play it, but like you are practicing, but you're not practicing my stuff. So what do you do? I'm like, well, I kind of write all the time. He goes like, oh, that's interesting. Can you play me something? So I'm like, yeah, sure. So I started playing all the stuff. I was like, the ideas I was throwing around. Yeah, and he goes like, wow, I had no idea. This is amazing. Like, did you ever think about like, doing a, going to school for like arranging or composition? I'm like, yeah, I really would love to, but in Switzerland we don't really have, too many. I mean, you get, conservatories, but you don't have really like really modern composition. And I always like, combining arts with, like movies and like film scores and stuff like that. And then he, told me about Berklee College of Music. So.
And how old were you then when you started playing piano?
8 years.
At 8 years.
8 years,
and so this time when you were training with this fabulous Italian, how old were you then?
When he like discovered what I was doing, I was probably around like 13.
Okay, so from 8 to 13 was just learning to play.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So I have a question. Have you always heard music? Is it just music that comes through, or how does it work for a composer?
Somewhat, yeah. Like I hear a chord and just kind of hear where the chord has to go and how the resolution goes, or like what the lead melody does, and then I play the next, and then like I kind of already hear the next step. So it's kind of yeah, intuitional, somewhat.
Intuitional.
Yeah. But also, like, you know, my sister was a big Bon Jovi fan, and she was always listening to records, and then, you know, I heard the song, and I just sat down to the piano and, like, started playing it. She goes, like, how can you play that stuff? And she was 3 years older. She always was, you know, playing the classical stuff off the, you know, off the notes and the scores, and I just could sit down and play it without, you know, like, knowing what it was. So, kind of just kind of hear it, yeah. So.
And when it comes to movies, music is really what captures the audience.
Mm-hmm.
If there was no music, it would be a very different movie. Right?
Oh, absolutely.
But you actually color the movies with emotion as well. I mean, aside from what the actors are giving, you actually enforce and enhance those emotions with music.
Indeed, yeah. Yeah, it's you know, it's a collaboration of you know, with the director, and it's basically combine, you know, multiple visions into one and find the one, you know, channeling way, and you know, really, like, you know, be kind of have an open ear but also an open heart to kind of really get those feelings that you know, that the movie wants to convey.
And did you know, like, you were saying that you, of course, came here and you had this opportunity to work with a very well-renowned director. Where did you then go from your training with this Italian man? How did you come to America?
Well, I applied to Berklee College of Music, and I got accepted. And you know, I had to figure out the paperwork and had to convince my parents. My mom was, you know, very excited about it. My dad, not so much.
For what
you
reason?
know?
For not wanting you to leave?
Yeah,
or
no, he just didn't understand that, you know, there is a possibility to make a living with music.
Yes.
And you know, he's, you know, a little sheltered in Switzerland, so, you know, to him that was just a crazy idea. Like, what is my son thinking, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, eventually, you know, he came around, and you know, they supported me, and so I went to, you know, went through the, you know, the film scoring program at Berklee, which was wonderful, a very good experience. Recommend it to everyone. I did it in 3 years.
3 years.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then right after graduation, I came out to Los Angeles, and I started as a, you know, composer assistant to Mark Killian, did, you know, rendition, and that was the first job. Yeah, so yeah, it was wonderful, you know, and yeah, and from there on, I you know, assisted a few more composers, and then eventually broke off, and you know, became a freelancer, and then started working for a TV show as a ghostwriter, and then I realized that, yeah, you know, it's maybe better to kind of put my own name out there, and so I just, you know, started working on independent movies, and you know, I've done some features by now, and seems to be picking up. You know, the more I go, you know, the better it gets.
So if you had a message to give to young composers out there that are in other countries or in general, just, you know, wanting to come to Hollywood or even pursue their life as a composer, what would you say to them?
Don't give up your dream. Keep going. Keep dreaming. It's possible. Yeah, just got to put the, you know, the time into it. Got to put the work into it, and meet the right people. You know, meet the right people, the people that you like, and the people you don't work with. I think that's very important.
Have you ever been at a point, a time in your life where you thought of ever giving up, or really struggling with the direction you were going, or?
Struggling, absolutely. Giving up, never.
Right. Right.
Yeah, and I mean, you've been, as you said, 8 years here, and you know, you've worked on some big stuff, but obviously it's not continuous, right? So you have times where there's no work, or
yes,
work
absolutely.
On your own stuff? How do you deal with that? Do you?
I do work on my own stuff, and I always have, you know, always ideas, and I just write, and you know, and you know, just try to, okay, this is a score I like, and I kind of want to learn, you know, from that composer. How did he create that sound? How did he, you know, do the work that way? So I kind of, you know, just take that and kind of practice by myself, you know, write a cue in that style, and just kind of like, then, you know, somebody wants a cue eventually, you know, maybe give it to some library or something, you know, it's never wasted time, and, you know, I learned something. But there's always that moment where you come to the end of a movie, and, you know, you spend, you know, a month or two working on it, and then you're like, wait, what's going to be next? Like, am I ever going to, you know, have another movie again? And then sure enough, like, you get a phone call all of a sudden from somebody that knows somebody somewhere, and there you go, and you know, you're back on track again. So it's it's up and down. You just can't let it get to you.
That's wonderful.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Is there something you would like to say to people home in Switzerland that may be watching?
Yes. Goeie gastly.
Yes, that is what I was going to suggest. It's a fondue.
It's a fondue. Yes, send me some.
Yeah, what do you miss from Switzerland?
The food.
The food.
For sure. The good quality food.
Yes.
The healthy stuff,
cheese,
you know.
No cheese fondue then.
I think it ain't that bad for you because the ingredients, they're probably just fine,
And chocolate?
And chocolate, yeah.
Swiss chocolate.
Good
Swiss chocolate for sure.
Yes, thank you, Roman.
Thank you.
So thank you all out there who have watched another episode of the Global Hollywood Show. We hope that we're inspiring you and bringing you lots of incentive to live your dreams. I'm Lara Helena.
And I'm Tomm Voss. And we'll see you soon.
We will see you soon.